is probably going to get, I don't know, I would guess 15 or 20 rushing touchdowns this year. He's a big, strong quarterback from Florida. He's a runner. He's a runner.
Jordan Love's going to have a year, though.
Yes, he is.
People saying Dak's going to have a year.
Whatever. Dak have a year, and the Cowboys will lose in the first round, as always. Yeah. All right, so let's get rocking on this. Make sure to share this episode with a friend. If you're watching or listening live, a share goes a long way. A like goes a long way. We really appreciate that. And if you are listening to the recorded version on Spotify or Apple, sharing this with a friend, even though it's not live, I think would be very beneficial to us. We would appreciate that very much. What are you writing over there?
Just some notes, bro.
For this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
before we get into Steve Jobs, doesn't have to be perfect to get started, right?
Correct. Yep.
But one thing you do have to do before you get started is you have to want more and make the decision to want more. You have to have the mindset that you can do this, right? That has to be clear. Nothing else has to be clear. The strategy, however you get there, that doesn't matter, but you have to make the shift. I want more in my life. I can do this, and you can figure out the details later.
So mindset. So my years of working on new mindset are starting to pay off.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Do you like my hat?
I'm not sure what it is, but it's a Missouri, so yeah.
What do you mean? It's just the. What do you mean? What is it? It's Missouri.
Missouri what?
It's the flag.
Oh, is that the flag of Missouri?
Yeah.
Oh, the symbol or whatever that is?
That's the flag of Missouri flag on the state outline. Sorry, I'm proud to be from Missouri.
I do like the hat, though. Yeah.
And you're not.
No.
I'm a Missouri man.
You are.
All right. It's not a Missouri boy.
No, not a Missouri person.
I'm a Missouri man.
There you go.
All right. So let's get into some people that started a little bit later or started things that weren't perfect. So the poster child and actually a company that's been in the news recently for not good reasons is Apple. Not that anything too crazy, but Warren Buffett sold a shit ton of Apple stock, which probably is not good for their immediate future. I'm sure the long run is fine. But anyways, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak with Apple, they started in 1976, which is the bicentennial anniversary of the United States.
Yeah. That's it. We've been around not that long.
No, correct.
Yeah.
A little over 250
years, a little over 250 years.
Yeah, it's a little less than 250.
Right, almost 200.
What are we going to do for the 250 years?
Do some wild.
Yeah.
Do some American shit. Shoot off some fireworks, some guns, drink some beer.
Okay.
Do some push-ups?
Okay. Do some push-ups. All right, so they started in 1776. Their first product was Apple One, and it was
1976.
Did I say 1776?
1976.
All right, so they started in 1970. I just feel like 1776 is much more impactful of a date in my mind.
It is.
So 1976 they started, and it was a circuit board, and it wasn't a very good product. They will admit that, but guess what? They got started and figured it out as they went. They had a dream. They had a vision, as you talked about earlier. I almost guarantee they didn't know that Apple's biggest product was going to be a phone.
Yeah.
Considering they're probably, I don't even know if there were cell phones back then.
Probably not. Yeah.
So they didn't know that. They didn't have to have the end exact goal in mind to know that they wanted to get started. They believed in the space. They believed in computers. They believed in technology, and they went all in with an imperfect product. And holy crap, they both have been multi-billionaires because of it.
Yeah, self-made, right?
Yes.
And I think that's going to be the key in a lot of these. And probably most of these, high-profile people or companies have some sort of similar origin story. I mean, that's what makes them so cool. Like, we look at them now, and we're like, oh, my gosh, like Apple, right? Mm-hmm. But they started just two dudes. Mm-hmm. Two dudes
named Steve.
Steve, yeah.
How boring is that? It's like the most boring name ever.
I know. But anyway, just they started, and their first product was far from perfect, and as they continued throughout their journey developing and introducing new products into the space, none of them were perfect. You know what I mean? And they can't please everybody. And along the way, they'll tell you, yeah, these aren't perfect. There's people that can do better this, better at that, better at that. But they had a niche. They wanted to focus on the customer experience, and that is what they have continued to perfect as much as they could along their the lifespan of that company.
Yeah, and their products aren't even perfect to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, they copy everything off of your boys over at Android, Samsung. But this reminds me of the story, and this kind of goes to round out them, and we'll move on to the next example. But this goes reminds me of a story of just having that vision in mind and having kind of what you said, having a clear vision and going towards that, but not knowing exactly how you're going to get there. Remember the Simon Sinek story where he went to Microsoft's board meeting, and he went to Apple's board meeting, and Microsoft's board meeting was all about trying to compete with Apple, and Apple's board meeting was all about thinking of ways to empower teachers. They weren't even talking about the competition. And he said he got into like a cab with one of the Microsoft executives, and here's our MP3 player,
Zune.
Yeah, here's Zune. They were super excited about it. Then he got in a car with an Apple executive, probably after that, and he was like poking him, and he's like telling him how good the Zune is and how it's better than the Apple product. And the Apple guy's like, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a better product than ours.
Could be.
But guess what? They didn't say this, but we're probably going to sell 100 times what they sell because of the vision and the fact that it doesn't have to be perfect. Their products aren't perfect. I think they're good. They're intuitive, but they're not perfect. But it doesn't matter. They push it out anyway.
Yeah. And there are a lot of smart people that start amazing companies, but the majority of the time, they're not much smarter than a lot of people, either you or people you know. And consistent action is what this is about. Day over day, week over week, month over month is going to beat out brains every single time. Sometimes you can be too smart for your own good. You know what I mean? And overanalyze and never get started. So what's that one saying? Like, gosh, I forget what it was, but something.
Hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard.
That's a great one as well.
That wasn't it? Damn, I was sure
something
that was
along the lines of like, everybody who gets A's and B's in college is working for the people that get C's.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're almost like that. Not book smart or a little bit off up there, like benefits you in a way.
Yeah.
You're not in your own way. You're not overanalyzing everything. So I think that's super cool. I'm sure Steve's very smart. Obviously, that's not what I was getting at. But man, these guys busted their ass for however many years, decades, and it wasn't just an overnight success by any means. Come early 2000s, when everybody was like, "Whoa, iPhone," you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember what Musk said. I didn't go to Harvard, but a lot of people that work for me did. That's a similar type of saying. Yeah,
absolutely.
You don't have to be. I read something the other day that was like, it was a study, and it's similar to what you said. The higher the IQ does not usually mean they make more money. Honestly, there's like a certain point where they usually. So if you're not super smart like us, that's a good thing. You're where you should be, intelligence-wise.
Yeah, I think there's certain skills that are way more important than book starts, like resiliency and leadership and self-management and personal accountability. Those are way more important in my eyes than having the highest IQ.
100%, because you do not have an high IQ. We know that.
I don't even know what my IQ is. I don't even know what a good IQ is.
I think the average is 100, right? Shane would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 100. That's the average.
You're probably around 100 then.
I'm above average.
When it comes to brain size, maybe.
Half the people have to be below average.
Yeah, so. Lucas. Called an average.
So out of the three in this room, is there two above, one below?
I'd say two below, one above.
Okay. So me, and then you and Shane below line?
I was going to say me and you below, Shane above.
Okay.
All right, and then another example of things not being perfect and persevering is J.K. Rowling's with Harry Potter. She was denied by 12 publishers. Her original book that has made so much money, and that whole series is a $1 billion series, was turned down 12 times. That's crazy.
It is crazy, but she did not give up. She had pretty much no money to her name, and was taking care of her daughter, writing scripts, writing books in cafes during the day. Just another brilliant story of resiliency and just taking action and starting from nothing. I love these stories.
And that's way more important. That resiliency is what we're getting at. It's way more important than anything else. It doesn't have to be perfect, because 12 publishers is a lot, bro. Yeah. It's not like, we went to two said no, but the third was like, yes. It's like the third said no, the fourth said no, the fifth said no, the sixth said no.
After 12, most people would be like, this is probably not for me.
After about 5, I feel like most people would.
Yeah, so it all starts to have that resilience. You got to have belief in yourself and what you can bring to the world.
Do you believe in yourself?
Absolutely. I think that's probably to a fault.
Yeah, too much, I think. No, I'm just kidding. All right, another example. Shane liked that when I heard laugh over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just made that up. All right. Another one is, you ever heard of, you can't see him, but he's a wrestler. His name is John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see me. Isn't that his thing?
Yeah. And
you probably thought wrestling was real growing up, didn't you?
No, but I was into it in middle school. I remember
Middle school?
Yeah, it was pre John Cena, and I remember in like the middle school locker room in like PE class, we talk about like it was like Triple H and all them.
We
over
went to
there.
middle school together, but I was not having those conversations.
Well, we
I
didn't
wasn't
have
a
PE
booger
together,
eater.
otherwise you would have been. It was
did
like
not.
Triple H versus like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and
Was The Rock then?
yeah, Rock was shortly after that, and then John Cena was even after The Rock a little bit. But John Cena was on Shannon Sharp's podcast and telling his story, and that's where some of this inspiration came from. But he's got a hell of a story.
Tell me John Cena's story.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll tell you it. I'll tell you the notes, and then I'll tell you some other stuff. All right?
Do it.
So originally tried playing professional football, and then he failed. Then he wanted to be a police officer, but failed the test.
If I saw him, I'd be like, you pass. Because even before he was a big dude.
I know. Yeah,
It's like, I think he's like
wouldn't-
6'3", isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big dude. I think 6'2". But
He's big, but that's also the reason he didn't play football. He didn't think he was big enough.
crazy. Probably wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Probably wasn't fast enough. 6'2", whatever. But he had to be like a corner. That's not gonna work.
So then he started working at a gym.
Okay,
And
makes sense.
he moved out to California, and this is about the time he wanted to pursue some sort of acting or wrestling career. And his dad was like, "You can do it, but it's not going to work. And you can always move back here if you want," is what he told him.
That's cool.
And it didn't work out for a long time. So he got a job at a gym, and instead of moving back home with his dad when your dad wins at that point, right? He lived out of his car for an extended period of time in the gym parking lot, would wake up, go work out, go shower, go brush his teeth in the gym facilities, and then he'd get like a big discount for like the gym had like protein bars and smoothies and stuff like that. So he got a discount. He said he stole some stuff from there too.
Just smashing protein shakes.
Yeah, and then he worked all day at the gym, moving weights or whatever the heck he did, and then came back and slept in his car. And he did that for a long time, and he said he freaking loved it. He was like, I was
kind of
homeless.
nice.
He's like, I was homeless, but I was homeless by choice.
Yeah.
And he kept pursuing his dreams, and then he started kind of working his way up through the wrestling ranks, and that's when he got huge is WWE. And man, he's probably the most popular wrestler of all time.
I would say he's up there. Like
Yeah.
him, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't know a ton about wrestling. I know
Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah.
But he's up there for sure, especially
sure.
in the past, like this century.
Yeah,
or like,
for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Ric
wrestling's
Flair.
still big. They still, yeah.
Is that what
the
he
drip,
does?
Ric Flair drip? But they still sell out arenas.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
There's a lot of money in
Wrestling's
that.
a big thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wrestling and UFC and WWE joined, which one's really real and one's really not.
You could tell. You
Yeah.
could tell the difference.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Yeah, no. So again, it obviously wasn't perfect. If he had the perfect, he would have had connections. He would have, not had to sleep in his car, not worked his way up the feeder system, but he just took action and did it anyway.
Heck yeah. Just made it freaking work, whatever it takes. Living out of your car. That's how bad he wanted and how much he believed in himself.
That is awesome. You would do that.
I would.
I would not. Too much of a prissy.
Prissy boy. Prissy man.
Man, stop. Gosh. All right. So now that those were some examples, let's get into a little bit of like our story and like, not everything being perfect. And then we'll get into like we want to leave people in this segment with like some to-dos or some action,
Yeah.
like go out, like here's like a tip to go maybe try that you maybe or maybe not have heard of, rather than just reminisce on some stories. So you and I were definitely, everything is far from perfect. We're still just taking massive action and figuring out as we go. So I just remember it was probably May or June of 2018, we were sitting in our old office. I just quit my job. You had quit your job a few months earlier than that, and we were trying to get our go through bank statements from January of 2017, and this huge entire bank statement of all these line items, and we were trying to figure out which line item went to which property, and it was the exact opposite of perfect,
Yeah.
imperfect, but we just were doing it and figuring it out as we went.
Yeah. It's a hell of a story. I mean, our very first...
We weren't living in a car.
Our very first house, that our investment property, is an example of imperfect action, and we almost got caught in analysis paralysis and didn't take that action. Sam and I looked at probably 50 investment houses before we made an offer, and some of them weren't the right ones.
Correct.
That's for sure. But some of them probably were. We're just too afraid to pull the trigger, is what I assume. But when we finally did pull the trigger, We were able to convince someone to give us a $100,000 loan.
What an idiot.
$77,000 purchase, $23,000 rehab. And we executed the burst strategy, and we went to refinance, and it didn't appraise for what we thought. And so we were about half the money short on the interest. So we were able to pay our private lender back the $100,000, but we also owed them another $5,000, give or take. And we could only pay $2,000 of it, let's say, something around that. And we literally didn't have the money in our checking account to make up the difference. So we had to use our sales skills and our relationship building skills to work out a deal where we rolled that interest into the next deal with him, and he still believed in us, and we still believed in ourselves to be able to execute that. Then on the next deal, we were able to pay back that deal's interest plus the previous deal that we were short on. So that was scary, you know, having $100,000 of somebody else's money. I've never seen $100,000 in my life. You know what I mean? I was making at the time probably $50,000 a year.
And it wasn't a perfect deal. Like I've kind of been reminiscing on that story a little bit with a few different people, and I was like, we had $100,000. We bought a house for $77,000 that needed about $40,000 worth of work.
Yeah, especially nowadays, you can spend $60,000 on that.
But we just did it ourselves and did a ton of it ourselves. That's when we were there every weekend for 15 hours and doing a lot of ourselves. So it still wasn't the perfect deal. We had $100,000 and we needed 120, but we just did all the work and did things the way we could.
It was worth 125.
Yeah, so it wasn't the best buy, but we figured it out.
We figured it out,
and we still own it today.
Yeah, and
now we got $150,000 equity in it.
And that same house, we had a strategy, but it was the wrong strategy.
We didn't even know about the BRRRRs at that time.
Exactly. Our plan was to buy the house, fix it up, and then sell it, make some money, take that money and put it down on the next house. So we had to buy 2 houses to get 1 rental, because our goal was always rentals from the beginning, at least.
To replace your income. It was a super smart goal. That whole plan was flawed.
Yeah, the whole plan was flawed. But we figured out the BRRRR strategy, and we keep that one as the rental without having to sell it. And we're like, okay, well, we got to find a bank to give us $105,000 with it being worth $130,000 or whatever it was. So we called and met with a lot of banks, didn't we?
Yeah, we had about 25 banks tell us no. We went to Bank of America, Commerce Bank. We started dealing with these small local banks. We got email addresses confused. I yelled at somebody in an email that was the wrong person, and it was a mess, but we figured it out as we went. And again, like I said, we still own that house today, and we own 150 of them now. So it's one of those things, if we had too much paralysis analysis, or we're trying to wait for that perfect deal in that perfect situation, we probably would have never started it. It's more about taking action. I always use the analogy of, I think our community is the best in the country. I don't think it's particularly close, but in my opinion, even having the best community, the best coaching, the best mentorship, the best program, the best coaching, whatever you want to call it, we can only teach them 30%. You have to go take action. It's never going to be a perfect deal. You're going to learn 70% on your own, and most programs probably 90% on your own.
And it doesn't have to be a perfect deal.
It won't be.
Yeah, you're going to get a perfect deal once out of every 50 to 100 houses.
And it won't be your first 50, I know that.
Yeah, and a perfect deal to me is a home run, way into it way less than your cash you receive from the...
Like 415 to left center, kind of?
Like 440, I'm thinking.
440.
With the bases juiced.
You can't even hit a freaking golf ball that far.
So this wasn't even close to that. This is a fielder's choice is what this was.
Yeah, like we're on first, but like, fuck, the guy got thrown out second. We didn't even, nothing happened. There was no gain except 1 out.
Yeah, that's pretty much what this was, and we forced it into a single to start, and nowadays, we still own that house. We paid the note from 105 down to what, 75 or 80 now, and that house is worth $230,000. So we have $150,000 of equity in one house because we just forced it by action.
100%.
So how many of those does it take to become a freaking millionaire, dude?
Not that many.
Not that many.
10 or less.
Yeah,
and
10 or less. Yep, just buy them, force that action, and hold on.
I like it. No, that's a good part. All right, now let's give them some tips on the rule of 100, I believe it's called. And the first time I heard this was your boy. I think you introduced me to him, Jesse Eitzler.
Yep.
Cool story, very cool story with him, like faking that he had this like private jet company and like meeting with celebrities and whatever. Now he's very, very wealthy and super smart, well-spoken guy, but his rule is a rule of 100. He said, I think I've heard him say it and kind of paraphrasing the notes. In order to be better than 98% of people at something, you just need to work 100 hours a year at it. So that's 18 minutes a day. If you can carve aside less than an episode of Friends, 3 episodes of Bluey a day at one thing, you will be better than 90-something% of the entire world at it in 1 year's time, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that much. So just be disciplined, get up earlier, go to bed later, carve out 20 minutes a day, not even, and you can be better than 95% of people.
Yeah, and he explains this story like super relatable to anybody with kids. It was, I think it was soccer, and he went to soccer practice, and either one of his family members was on the same team as this kid, and this kid was amazing. And he's like, they had one practice a week for an hour. Mm-hmm. And he's like, how did that kid get so good at one hour a week? And the dad was like, well, we just work 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day, I'm getting an extra, 35 minutes a weekend, an extra 2 full extra practices a month. This kid's getting, and that's why he's getting better. He's taking time out of his day. That's all it takes. 18 minutes would be great, but it doesn't even take 18 minutes. If you can carve out 5, 10, 20, whatever it is, to really focus on something, man, you're going to be an expert at it very soon.
And we're going to give you 18 minutes a day worth of things to do here in a minute to grow your real estate business. But this also reminds me of the Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. Got this one right. Last time you said Jackie Chan, you thought he was passed.
That was funny.
That was funny. Jackie Chan's still here. Poor Kobe is not. But this reminds me of that quote from him, and he's got a lot of cool quotes and stories of just him saying, he would get like 3 or 4 practice sessions in a day when everybody else got 1 or 2, and that's an extreme example. But he is literally getting thousands more hours in than other people. So like if you do something for 1,000 hours a year, and I do it for 3,000 hours a year, like even if you are way more skilled than me, I'm gonna win. So that is just putting more reputation. And I always tell people on our onboarding coaching calls, we just had one today, is like you don't need to completely change your life, but you need to start to prioritize the things that are important to you. Like on your way to your kid's soccer game on Saturday morning, maybe you have to swing by your rehab and check on it for half an hour. And rather than watching the 3rd episode of Bridgerton, just watch 2 and then watch some videos or go to a podcast or go to a meetup. So kind of getting into our 18 minutes a day of something, but you just have to kind of start to prioritize things and do the things that move the needle. And you don't have to get up at 4 a.m. and meditate and write in the journal and hang from your toes and feel the sun come up and
cold plunge
and get your butthole to some sunlight. Well, we're talking about that with Pace and Jamil. Something about getting your, what's it called?
Butt sunning?
What?
I don't remember what he called it.
You know what it's called, Shane.
No, I do not.
Getting your butthole some sunshine.
Getting that vitamin D.
That's, I guess that would burn. I bet that would burn quickly.
Would you need sunscreen? Or is it just like a couple minutes?
I think it's just a couple minutes.
In and out.
I think it's been proven not to work, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think getting a healthy amount of sun every day is good.
In your butthole?
Well, I mean, I feel like that's an area that doesn't get much sun.
That's
so
true.
It's like getting like 2 minutes there is probably getting like 20 minutes on your arms.
So there you go.
It absorbs it much faster.
Sorry, Shane's mom. All right. So in general, yes, just starting to prioritize things, getting back on track here. So 18 minutes a day. Let's give you some things that you can do in 18 minutes a day. You can pick and choose some of these things. And if you do these things and start to be consistent with them and add to them, in a year or less, you'll be like super far ahead in your real estate investing game. So let's go through some things. Like something you can do in 18 minutes a day is call 3 wholesalers. So there are almost unlimited wholesalers in your market. You find them at local meetups, Googling them. You find them by being on the side of the road, taking pictures of those. So you should easily be able to come up with 3 wholesalers to call multiple days a week. Just call them, leave them a message, let them know you want to be in their buyers list, invite them to lunch. Just spend 18 minutes one day a week calling wholesalers, and you will get more deals, you will close on more deals, and you will make more money 100%. People just aren't going to do that. Spend 18 minutes once a week calling wholesalers.
Yeah, and whether you want to wholesale, fix and flip, or rentals, getting the deal is step number 1. If you don't have the deal, you don't have anything. So building those relationships with wholesalers, and every time it's not like, hey, what do you got for me? Hey, what do you got for me? It's building a relationship with those people and continuing to follow up, and you'll figure out which ones you want to work with. And wholesalers are super powerful. Like Sam said, there's so many in your market. the majority of them probably do from 0 to 10 deals a year. You know what I mean? So and probably maybe one of those is for you, maybe, you know what I mean? So you got to have multiple wholesalers in your Rolodex to be able to sort through those deals and get some consistent lead flow. But Sam and I built our portfolio up to like, I don't know, at least 60 by exclusively wholesalers at MLS, let's say. So they're super powerful, specifically if you want to do rentals or fix and flips. Wholesalers are such a good option. Pick up the phone, give them a call, build a relationship.
Another thing you can do is like start to build some of the documentation you're going to need to grow your business, so you can like prepare a lender packet. You can put together certain things to have pitches for private, like you don't have a private lender, but what you can spend one day doing for 18 minutes is kind of piecing together some type of private lender packet or credibility packet. So when you do meet a private lender, you're not scrambling and you are not doing something half-assed at the last minute. Again, a lot of this is just doing something that it's not going to move the needle that day usually, but at least doing something will eventually come into play.
Yep, love it. Next would be analyzing a deal. I love this one. This is something I started even before we bought our first house, even before we were really looking at investments. I just enjoyed this part of it. This can be done super easy. It can be done on a notepad in the Zillow app. You know, anything for sale.
That's how we did for a long time.
For sure. Go look at that property. Hey, I want to buy in this area. Click that house and look at it. Like, hey, I would have to buy it for this if it rents for this, if the rehab is this. Like, it's super simple. And just get real good. And then when an actual deal comes across that you might be able to buy, then you'll just be that much more powerful in making that offer.
I like it. Next one would be download a new leads platform to get more leads. Like very soon, dealpilot.io.
Pilot one with Pilot.
Deal Pilot, yep. Pilot, yep. It seems a little more inviting and fun than Matrix is a little overwhelming. So
Yeah, red pill. Blue pill.
Yeah, Deal Pilot is a software we're launching here soon. So just getting a free trial to the software and poking around and seeing what's out there as far as the different apps, the different things you can do to get a little more efficient. Like obviously utilize technology to be quicker.
Man, there's so many good platforms out there now too. Like nothing was available really when we got started. At least we didn't know of it. But now you can get a software and a free trial to that software where it can tell you what the house is worth. It can help you with the rehab. It can help you run rental comps so you can figure out what the cash flow would be. And then you can target other houses like that with, it could give you the phone numbers of people. It could send direct mail places to people. So, yeah, just poking around in an all-in-one platform I think is a really cool idea and a good way to learn.
Yep, I like it. And then the last one would be kind of just move things around in your calendar. You got a busy life. I get it. You understand it. Kiddos, job, fun hobbies, whatever it is. But in your town, there's local meetups. So figure out which ones you want to go to. Go to all of them. And then that's unrealistic. Probably do that every month. But go to them all and then figure out one or two. If you can carve 2 nights out a month to go to meetups, you're going to be, for 12 months in a row, you're going to be light years ahead of where you would be without doing that and meeting the people that are movers and shakers in your market.
Yeah, I think like three ways meetups are important. Number one, to me, it just gets you like excited and have belief in yourself that other people are doing what you want to do. Number two, you learn a lot. There's usually really good presenters, so you actually gain knowledge. And number three, there's just fantastic connections that you can make, whether it's wholesalers or contractors or lenders that are going to be there looking to do business.
And like Lucas, if you go to ours, has a bar tab open every single month, so you get free drinks.
So you can have fun too.
Free drinks.
Yeah, and it's fun being around like-minded people, that are all striving for the same thing, going through the same challenges you are.
It's just encouraging for sure. So there's your things, some examples. You can spend 18 minutes a day doing it, and probably not going to go from not doing this to doing it 18 minutes a day forever, but try. The next few days, try to get 18 minutes a day in and see where that takes you. Just know that it's going to take time. It's not going to happen quickly or overnight, but it will probably eventually happen if you continue to do it, but it's not going to happen if you quit.
Yeah, that's
cool.
for sure.
All right, so make sure to follow this podcast. If you're not, subscribe depending on what you're listening, what you're watching. I'm not going to look at the fucking answers. And let us know where you're. Let us know where you're from if you're on the live chat, and then make sure to share this if you're listening to the recording. All right, real or fake? Ready?
Let's do it together.
Go ahead.
All right. Triton Brands to cease production of Poland Spring, Ice Mountain's sister brand.
Shane, I feel like we got to get a little more exciting than this with our headlines, but I'm gonna say that's true.
I'm gonna say
or
fake.
real. I
I'm
say
gonna
it's real.
Fake.
It is fake.
Oh my gosh, that got me.
Gotcha.
Son of a.
You're so mad.
I'm so mad. All right, next one, Walls.
All right. Leaked document shows date of Travis and Taylor breakup.
That's fake.
I'm pretty sure that's real because I heard some people talking about it. Real. Yeah.
They're
It
not
is
broken
real.
up.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not yet, but there are some leaked documents with the letterhead from Travis's PR company that say the date that they will break up. So it's speculation right now.
What? So you have to put
They do.
you have to
Probably.
plan ahead on the
They
date.
probably do. That's a big news.
The document covers the mutual parting and for their personal brands. It's a whole big.
The headline's
big thing.
real. Well, so hopefully I want them to stay together.
I know. My wife's gonna be so sad.
I know.
Nobody's
So is your
gonna watch
daughter.
football
Yeah.
this year.
My daughter's an M&M right now, not Taylor, but my wife will be sad because she thinks Travis is not bad to look at and she loves Taylor. So
Travis is not bad to look at.
he's a good-looking man. There's a sign on our front porch that says, "I hope you like Taylor Swift and dogs."
Yes.
There you go.
You guys like those things.
Welcome to my house.
Yep.
All right, last one. Britain leaves the gold standard, leading to many U.S. believers thinking another stock market disaster is imminent. They leave the gold standard. What is that? Are they on the gold standard? Nobody's on the gold standard right now. What is that? I mean, money's not backed by gold anymore. So
Over
that's-
there?
maybe it
They're
is
backed
over
by
there.
us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Gosh.
Sounds like a real headline, but I think I'm going to say Shane, you're cooked up. I'm going to say fake.
I'm gonna say real.
It is a real headline, but it aired in 1931.
Shane.
Nice. That's good.
I thought you would like that one.
I did. Now we got us thinking. Like, what time frame were these headlines?
Yeah, that's
I didn't
true.
even think that was a thing. I was
we might
thinking
have
like
to, we might have to
pop
put
culture.
parameters around. It has to be
Current
the 20th
headlines.
century, Shane, or the 21st century. It's got to be 2000 or later. New
That's-
rule.
That's good. All right. Well, I did better on those than I'm going to do on this next.
All right, here's riddle me. This is where I make Lucas sound silly.
Yeah, you're about to.
All right, Lucas. What loses its head in the morning but gets it back at night? Talk about some morning head.
Yeah.
Where's the morning head? When does that get lost?
Well, usually it is around in the morning and then leaves at night when I get a little tired.
Okay.
But
What loses its head in the morning but gets it back
head
at night?
it could be so many things. Like, is it an actual head of like an animal, a person? Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
So what other heads are out there?
I can think of one, but it's not.
It's not that one. Gosh, head of security, head of
That's not a bad thought.
heads and tails, head of lettuce.
We definitely do this right because I would get so mad. This is definitely Lucas is the right person for this riddle me to
Oh
go this
man,
way.
I do not.
pillow.
I do not know.
A pillow.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I thought maybe you get that one, but maybe not. But I get
I
that.
like it. I could have got that one. At least it makes sense, Shane.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shane just gets when we get him wrong. Shane just you get dragged through the mud. It's just a
Not
toughening up
always.
thing.
No, that makes sense. Fair game.
Yours are always the fair ones. Mine aren't. All
Oh,
right, here we go.
stop.
Number 2. Okay, again, I have a head
I don't.
like a cat, and I feel like a cat, but I'm not a cat. What am I? I don't think you're
No,
like
I
this
have a
one.
head like a cat and feet like a cat.
Oh, feet like a cat.
So
I have my glasses on.
yeah. So paws. He had a head. I have no idea.
A kitten.
Oh my gosh.
I knew you wouldn't like that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a leopard, but I thought that was nope. It is as stupid as I thought.
Ooh, gotcha, Shane. 1 for 2. All right, the third one. Oh, no, 0 for 2.
I think I know this one.
They come out at night without being called, and they're lost during the day without being stolen. What are they?
Stars.
Yes, sir. 1 for 3. It's the best you've ever done. Good job.
I am a champion.
You crushed it, Lucas. Look at all our graphics we got.
Those are pretty stars.
To get 'em
those
back.
are really bright. I don't know if those are stars, Shane.
Stars are crazy bright.
Are planets stars? No.
No,
Might be some planets up in there.
those are pretty much all stars. Planets don't emit light. That's the only planets that we see are the sun bouncing off of them. So those are definitely all stars.
Or another star's light bouncing off of them.
No. Stars aren't strong enough to bounce light off a planet and have it come all the way to us. That light's going to
Well, the
dissipate.
sun's a star.
Because we're right
not-
next to it.
We're not the only star.
We're right next to it,
Sun's
but
not
out
the only
there.
star.
No. Anyways, I'm an expert at the Hamilton, the ancient pyramids, and stars. So
In the Matrix.
the movie? Oh no.
In life simulation.
We don't. All right, whatever. All right, next one. True, false. I'm going to crush these, make you look stupid.
All right. Penguins are only found in Antarctica.
That is false.
That is correct. While many live in Antarctica, some species are found in warmer climates.
I think like South America maybe has some, and
You
also.
stop.
So does South America have? Look it up.
Mexican penguins.
It does. South America does.
Mexican is North America, by the way. But anyway, South
Well, I was
America.
just saying any country.
But also, I was going to get really mad because zoos have penguins, so I was going to.
I thought about making a panda one where a panda's found, the zoo, but I thought that would get too much flack.
Is that
You're
a
going to get
riddle?
flack no matter what, Shane. So,
Yeah, that's more of a joke.
all right, ready?
All right,
One for one. Already smoking you.
A rhino's horn can be up to 12 pounds of bone.
That's a lot of poundage, but rhinos are big.
Yeah, I think like your head's that big.
Your head is. A lot of head talk today.
Yeah.
Um,
Head top.
Yeah, it's a synonym or a connotation.
There you go.
Blow your mind. I'm going
Blow
to
your
say blow your head. I'm going blow head. Okay, stop it, Lucas. Shane's mom listens to this. All right, let's say I'm going to say false.
It is false, but it's because it's not made out of bone, but of, how do you say that, Shane? Keratin?
Keratin.
Keratin.
I don't know how to say keratin.
Hello.
Caraton.
No, it's not.
K there.
It's a Keratin.
Duh. Keratin. All right, 2 for 2. Already winning.
All right. Venus, the second planet from the sun. Oh, we're talking outer space again. Is hotter than Mercury, the closest planet.
So this could be a lot of different things on the surface.
Well,
100% closer to the sun is hotter, but like what
we
is
know
the
it doesn't emit light,
So what is no? It does not. So,
so
what,
this is like the air temperature.
probably yes.
Yeah.
So and
And we're the third?
third rock from the sun. Yep.
And Mars is right after us. So it's way colder.
Yep. But there's also like the atmosphere, like the Earth has been through ice ages where it's so close to the sun, but it's freezing. So depends on what cycle like that Venus is going through. But I'm going to say true.
It's true. It's due to the thick atmosphere. Venus traps the heat and stays hotter.
Tell me you're not a little impressed?
I mean, it's true and false. So
And I
take
went
it with a
3 for
grain of
3.
salt.
I went 3 for 3, and I also gave context to my answers.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job, Sam. Everybody give Sam a round of applause. Shane gives
I'm a grown man.
and the rap horn. I love it.
All right. Got it. Motivational quote. Hit him with it, Walls.
All right. Even the greatest was once a beginner. Don't be afraid to take the first step.
Muhammad Ali. True.
Muhammad Ali. Real. That's a real headline.
That's a real headline.
But a while ago.
Yes, that was a while ago. That was back in the 20th century.
Hey, rest in peace.
R.I.P. Muhammad.
Yes.
No, he's alive.
No, he's not.
Did he?
Man, I hope I didn't. Get another
Did you
one
do
wrong.
it again?
No, he's definitely passed away. Yes.
Yes.
Muhammad Ali is not living.
Let me see.
He's
here.
not living. I know this one.
He did pass away at the age of 74 on June 3rd of 2016.
Been a while. 8
There you
years.
go. Well,
Anyway.
I'd rather err on my side than your side.
Me too. I don't know why. I need to be careful about saying RIP.
Yes.
Unless I really know.
Yes.
But anyway, I think it's timely for this episode, right? It's what we talked about with those amazing companies and amazing entrepreneurs. Like they were once just like you. And they just decided, they had a big dream and decided to take action on that dream, and they believed in themselves. So I love it. First step's the hardest, and after that, every step gets a little easier.
Yep, I like it. It's just one of those things where everybody starts out with no experience in something like real estate, whatever it is. Everybody starts out with zero experience. You just have to be willing to push through.
Yep.
All right, ready to get crushed?
Let's trash it. What's the
right.
score?
The score is 17-21. Lucas is up. So let's see here.
It stayed kind of this for a while.
Because I'll like it.
All right.
left
Cool.
hand for
Unfortunately, we
Lucas
don't
still.
have a good camera angle of it.
Left hand for Lucas still.
Lucas is
People to
shooting.
know with his left hand.
Lucas is shooting with his left
He does a
hand
lot more
because he
than
feels
two.
bad for Sam.
No, it's just the rules.
It doesn't feel bad for me, I promise.
It's short. He missed it. All right. Sam shooting from the corner.
Go up to. Oh! Back to my right hand next time. All right. See you guys on the next one.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. We hope you got some major value from our conversation. If you love what you learn, make sure you like, rate, review the show, and help us spread the word by telling a friend.
If you'd like to learn more about working with me inside one of my programs, we'll have those links in the show notes, along with all our social media handles, so you connect with us there for free. If there's a real estate question you'd like us to answer, feel free to send us a message and we'll cover it in an upcoming show.